With E-Shift, we actually had a very simple question. How do we create a deeper bond between the driver and the car? The Taycan was never lacking performance. It's incredibly fast. But at some point, we realized something was missing. It's not just one thing you can point out. It's something you have to experience. You have to hear it. You have to see it. And, in the end, you have to feel it.
The big vision was to create a whole new experience in our Taycan that combines the best of both worlds into one car. When you activate E-Shift, the power meter in the instrument cluster changes to a tachometer with a ref and a gear shift indicator. The main focus for the user experience was that we wanted to make it driver-oriented and easy to access. So that's why we put all the information in the direct field of vision of the driver. And most importantly, we have integrated one specific button directly on the steering wheel that allows you to switch between those two worlds with just one click. We combined that very new element with exactly the same shifting pedals that you know from our GT Sport steering wheel. We didn't just focus on developing E-Shift, we also focused on further developing typical electric features. On the one hand, if E-Shift is not activated, you can use the shifting pedals to set different recuperation levels. And also, if you're accelerating and want to use the overboost power, you can simply pull both pedals at the same time, and then push to pass will be activated without taking your hands from the steering wheel.
Sound is something that it's giving emotions, of course. It's giving you the feeling of the car, kind of the soul. You know that it is a Porsche without seeing that it is a Porsche just by hearing it. And from the beginning on, we had the Porsche electric sports sound. And the Taycan is the first electric Porsche that we brought to the market. We thought about how would an electric Porsche, how would a Taycan sound if we add the feature E-Shift. The big challenge then was to develop a sound that is there for the whole RPM range. So you need something for idle, for example. You need a sound that is at the RPM limiter and everything in between. The sound is following the virtual RPM, but it's also following a torque. So like a combustion engine is the sound is changing over torque. So if you're driving there with no torque, it sounds completely different. So we did measurements of the real powertrain, we did measurements of the real car, and we created the E-Shift sound. It's something that people love. When I had the first sound concept in our concept car, the other colleagues and people around started to turn their heads and look after the car. And they started asking me, hey Max, what did you do there? What's in there? What's that sound? Where does it come from? That was the moment I knew that this is the right way.
For us, it was quite important that we don't compromise on performance. So E-Shift needed to be performance neutral. We thought about different driving situations. For example, when driving manually in a high gear, we have a torque limitation when we are in low ref ranges. When you need the performance, you can downshift again and get the most power out of the car, which is not limited, so we can use the full power out of the engine. E-Shift opens you a new world with driver feedback, driver engagement, driver involvement. The driver is then in charge again.